So I want to show you guys how to use some plaster in like a patch repair. This is not how I would do this wall. In fact, in the next video you'll see that I totally went over this with a structure light, meaning a leveling perp compound. But this is how I'm demonstrating for you guys how you might do a repair using the diamond bind product or finished plaster. Here's the thickness or the layer thickness you put it on. And 1/8 equals 4/32, just so you know. I'll show you that in a second. It's 80% calcium sulfate, which is plaster Paris, and 20% dolomite. Okay, it's a lime-like product, right? Plasticizer. And it's less or minus. This is greater than 80, less than 20 of that. You're 3/32 with that deal, the max. You're at 1/8 with this finished plaster. What do I have to say about this one? This is 45% CAS, which is your same product, your plaster Paris. So this is 45% plaster Paris, and about they do plus or minus, so it really is about 50% of your lime magnesium, your plasticizer, your binder, your lime basically. Red top is this product. Again, this is 45%, and you go out to 1/8 of an inch. 45% of your, let me move it over, of your plaster Paris, and this is 80% of your plaster Paris. So now let's go ahead and apply some and see what we have. Now I'm going to use just a spackle pan because I can. I will keep this along for us. Another one of my plaster. Might use that. So let me just grab this and just show you how I just work from there. Good. And let's go right with the diamond. This is 80%. So let's go with some 80%. Throw it in there and see what we get. Let's see the tooling of it. So let's go with 2 scoops. Call that a day. That's significant. And I'm going to use a joint compound pan because this is what you guys will be using, not a trowel and hawk. You should have a mask on. This stuff is not that human friendly. Let's go with this blade. And I'll just mix it in this pan a little bit. You have about 30 minutes, depending on, do not use warm water. If you want your time reduced on setting, use warm water, which you don't want to do. So if it does look, hopefully this will come out a little more milky than I want it. And if it does, I'm going to show you that you just leave it alone. It's going to start thickening up. You don't have to add more product to it to get it to be more user friendly. Out of that, like this soup right here. You don't have to worry about that soup. It will dry up. If you put it on with soup though, that's a lot of shrinkage that you might have. So be careful. You don't want to just start slapping it on, even though you may like the creaminess it applies. So remember, this is 80%. Look already how that's doing it. This is 80%. Let's go ahead. I'm going to, oops, same bucket. I'll just do that. Let's go here because this is a rough spot. Now this is not my finished surface. This is not my finished surface, but I'm going to do it anyway, just to give you an idea of how the product's going to react as. I just don't care. Okay, look, so there's something, right? Let's just get rid of that. So just don't care about putting it on. I'm going to show how, okay? So you should mix this with a drill, but I'm doing the same thing that everyone else would do. You're not going to mix with the drill. Just beat it up like that. If you were down to using a pan, I mean. If you were using this professionally, of course you're going to mix with a drill. But look how nasty this is. I want you just to notice how it seems like so nasty. Look, I'm not even giving it any. I'm trying to make it look more nasty. Hold on. Let's just do some more. Oops, now I dropped some. That's not good. That's not good. Get the hopefully don't get any rocks in there. We'll find out. I just don't want to step in that mud like that. That's why it's not good. It's never a good thing. So I just want to show you that I'm trying to do it like you guys would do it. Just kind of nasty and you know, first time out, amateurish. You wouldn't spend the time to mix it properly, more than likely. You would get a lot of things wrong, but I'm going to show you how you'll still be okay. I'm trying to just layer this out now with multiple lines like that. How I've seen many people try to spackle, and it looks like this. So you're going to treat it just like spackle right now, but the limit is, I did that because I want that water. I don't want that stones in there. They're a pain in the ass. The limit is when it's setting on you. This will set up. So let's see if I can do some more nastiness and a little more. It's getting, you know, it's going to set within this, even with that much water in it. It starts setting 15 minutes. It's going to get really nasty. To try to do really nice, but okay, I like that. See the streaks in it? So that's because it wasn't mixed. But let's do it anyway. That the mix wasn't mixed. So now let's get a nice mix. This was outside. I just purchased this today, and it was outside. So it did have some. It was below 40 degrees out here. Now look how smooth that is, but I can see that's not quite as smooth as I would like. Those are chatter marks because it's repeating this profile here. So if you were trying to cover this, let the chatter marks ride, do the chatter marks, and go again, and just let it ride. Trust me on this. Let that ride for a minute. Right? You'll come back. You'll fix it. So this is way off. So I'm going beyond. I'm pushing the limits of the thickness of this right now. But you'll see why in a minute. It'll all add up. So I'm just trying to act like you guys. You would just be like, oh. And then I missed a spot right here. So then you would like, oh, okay. Oh, and then out here. Oh. And then, oh, that's low. But we'll smooth that out anyway, even though it's low. That's starting to look really nice. Oh, here's a nasty part. See that? And that was probably the 1/8. And remember, right now I'm working with the 3/30 seconds is what they recommend max, which is a little less than 1/8. See my air bubbles coming? Too much water in it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it yet. I'm not worried about it. So now, you saw it just got applied. And now let's, man, I'm so tempted to grab on one of my trowels there. But let's just keep it with this spackle blade. And we start going back over it. Look at that. That's nice. Come back over it again. Now you're chasing your line. You're going to keep moving that line down. Look down your blade. Your blade has a curve to it. And that's the curve you want to face the wall. So it doesn't... oh, I got to get moving. So it doesn't... okay, there you go. So let's come up instead of cross that because I want to send the mud into that spot. Let's come up again. So that's totally low, but we'll let it ride. Come across here. All right, let's get some more mud over here with the blade. So watch what I do here. Come across. This is setting hard now. I mean, it's going. It's moving. It's moving right along. Let me get this out of the pan. And I'll show you what I can do, even when it's moving like this. So let's go ahead and go back over top of that already, because this is a lot more moldable right now. And you'll know it when you apply it, how moldable it is. Let's come up here. Let's come up here again. And over here. Now let's go ahead and fill that in. Don't worry about it yet. Don't panic yet. Don't panic yet. Just try to use up your stuff in your pan there. All right. So while we wait for that, just for a second, let's come over here. And I like keeping my tools clean. You can use a brush to clean your pan out now. Is the way to go. Don't let this wait a few minutes. You can come back to the wall, but this it's going to make it easy for you to transition right back into adding more mud if you do this. If you get rid of those that plaster now, outside also, if you're going to use this pan. And frankly, I use the pan a lot. I use the pan a lot. So here we go here, same thing, and same thing. Because the hawk, you got to load it up, you got to put it on a box, you got to do a lot of work. So look, I just splashed that a little bit. I check my blade again to see what's my high side. Take another look out the window. This blade is very, very flat, so it's hard to tell. I'll know. So this is still setting. Well, if I just drag across it like this, I start tearing it. No, it's still good. It's still toolable right now, but that part is maybe not down here. Now let's go again. Still toolable. See the lines coming out? Now give it a slight brush. I give it a little bit of moisture. And this way again. I can do that also. But we'll do this. And let me just do that. See the water that came out? You can do that also when it's starting to change colors, set up on you a little bit. You give it a little a sprinkling, and then you get to come down there and tool it. And you tool it again. And you can do. I do have the right plasterer's brush to do, but paintbrush is something you would have. Notice the fine streaks there. That's all you're going to do is just level those out. See them go away? So let's give some streaks. Let's see if I can get those streaks in there. You see those streaks? And I just go back over it, and all of a sudden they're gone. That's going to be air bubbles right there, though. So I'm going to go again. And this is the magic of plaster. Let's see how much we can do here. How much we can fix there with the brush. And even in this edge here, how much we can clean this inside. And you see it's just a mess. It's not level yet. But I'm still going to attempt to show you what you can do with plaster. And let's come down here. That's still too low, so you can see it's low. You see the low mark, so don't chase it. And let's go across that like that, just to show you. Just to show you what it's like. See those lines there? We're going to get rid of them all. I will wait. So let's go here again. We'll get rid of them all. And if you keep adding water over it, I don't get a positive gain out of that. So just wait a moment. There's the line. But and I say a moment, it's really not that much time. You're gonna keep moving with this product. Now I'm wetting it down too much for you guys to see. Wow, you overwet it. Just see what happens when you wipe it up. Now you might have some air bubbles come in. But you see how fine that line is now? It's getting there. And just come over again. Get a little chatter mark there. All right, so let's go over this part that I said there was a mess. Let's see what happens. We'll just let that be the base of that while it gives us a new level to work on. This cream is okay. Let's see what happens with the cream. So we come up here and just to see what happens. And you see all the lines and everything in there. Not that great, right? Let's go ahead and brush it off. And if you're not sure, you look at the brush marks and you can see the brush marks. Now I'm going in this direction. That means my cream will also go in this direction. So it's not going to be as favorable if I went across to level this out. Now let's do that. So one more time. I can use my brush in here to really start. Look at it. We just put this on and I'm already trying to level out. Look at that inside there. With the brush. That huge gap. Same thing here. See the outside edge is tapering off? Now let's just come back to the blade again. This wall is not flat, so do not think this is the finish. I'm just showing you how to work with plaster and not be scared of it. Those lines there, look. Doop, doop, doop. The plaster, you tool more. The joint compound, you're not going to tool. You're going to let it dry and then come back and sand it and all. You're going to tool very limitedly. But with plaster, you can see that if you just do two hands like that and take your time, you can start getting a flat and level wall surface. remember, you got to be respectful to the depth that these go on, that the products go on, that what they require max. So since I'm tapering off into this wall here, I'm already going to start being mindful of respecting that, and I'm already going to start tapering it over. Let's just see how bad it is. See the gap back here? And it's worse there. So right here needs mud, right there. Now let's just go nastily over it now and just do this while it's setting. And this is plaster for you. Look how, even though I'm giving it no respect and just doing that, it's still pretty damn good looking, isn't it? Just a few hair points. So this is, I just wanted to show you that so you guys can get an idea. But I recommend you guys stick with just a joint compound tray. Let's put that out of the way. And I might still try that. I wanted to show you different blades and talk about a steel that's flexible. It's spring steel. It's designed to flex and bend. This will give you your nice finish, not a rigid one like that. And this is rigid. This is replacing the base coat on more so, or polishing once you get to it. So do you see the flex in it? It's a little spring steel. With that said, some of these are not that flexible. This one is. I purchased it as such. It's also a bigger depth. See this right here to there? Except for this one's got a nice feel to it. I like that one. And go with the one that you're getting your best results from. But keep in mind, you've got to get it flat first, the wall. You just can't say, oh, I like it, and then you realize that you didn't flatten the wall first. This is another spring steel. Very nice. A nice spring steel one. I think I would like to try this out. So let's grab this so I can get the... This is my actually concrete tools, not my plastering tools. So you can imagine it's no longer, the surface is not designed to be going over. Yeah, it's still coarse. I can feel that. I feel it. Let's just see what happens in here. Yeah, it feels good though. But that little bit of rust are leaving those line patterns. See them? See if you see the striations. And we go back to my little blade and go over it without even checking for straight which one is what. You can see it pulls it back. Now I put some water in there just so I'm going to suffer some bubbles here, right here. If you do, just tear them out, knock them out, and keep going. But there you see how plaster is just no respect. Look at that. Just no respect. And no sanding took place here. Let's see if we can get rid of that one. Oh, well, heck, that one got rid of it. No sanding took place, and you saw the mess I made when I first started off on this. Otherwise, let's take a look at structure light. This is a nice looking structure light. Ooh, that is nice. I'm going to be happy with this. Yeah. Yeah. This is nice. Let's do this. This is structure light. Let's cake on some over here for leveling. And this is my leveling product now. This is what I would do for this wall right here. I should switch out. I don't have my hawk with me. Let's just grab this and do this. That's what I use for leveling. So you saw all that, that's what you would use. So now I would just throw it on there. Well, not with this blade. And then use that for my leveling base. And come up with it. So the belly is here. So this still has to go out. This will still go out further. It comes this direction. If you pull on it, you'll see where it leaves indicator what it's really doing over there, and you see it's low here and low here. It's getting close. Over here is significantly low. So let's Let's do that one. Let's get that significantly low one, and I'll bring it up for you guys. And let's go in there again. And let's clean that up a little bit. Taper off. And one more time, we'll just place it. What I did there is I'm just trying to get a little more moisture back into there. See the moisture? And let's go there. So that's, you know, you wouldn't even need a big one to make this right. You could probably go like that, and then taper again, one more time, and you'd probably be pretty happy. So that's the belly I was worried about. It's still there. I'm gonna drag across, and you see that I have a huge holiday in the middle here. So I've got points there, but in the entire middle, holiday season is getting level with the wall. But you see the differences between that product and this. It's a huge difference with what your surface is left behind by, what you leave behind. Now we're going to tool this guy. And we're going to see how good we can get the structure light. And this is not ready yet, but oh no, this is pretty dry over here, I forgot. This is pretty dry. So we're going to tool the structure light a little bit. I'm going to tool her down. I just want to taper off those edges a bit. They're kind of a mess. Let me see if I can rub them out. I can't get behind this damn heater. I got to start tapering at some point. I got to pull the heater out, but do it otherwise. That would just be a pet peeve if I really took that heater out. Because who's going to look back there? Who's going to look back there? And go here. Let's come up with it and tool it that way for a second. Alright, so I've got a run here. Remember how those runs will act? So let's use that water up. Let's get to see if we can push it out somewhere. Gotta be gentle with it because it is a lot of water there. I'll put too much on. So we'll let this harden up for just a couple more minutes. And I'll tool it again. Look at this. See how it's tapering off? And this is structure light. It's still a base coat. But see how I can get the structure light to be nice? And this is really starting to look like a structure light top coat. Look at the chatter marks and the duplicating, you know, the aggregate. That's what that's starting to look like. That they used the top coat was a structure light also, perhaps. Little texture. See if I can pull up that texture. Okay, maybe that is it. Maybe they did structure light and then look, there's little BBs coming up. There are the BBs coming up and there are the BBs all over here. Maybe that's all they did on this wall because it's finished. It's a finished wall everywhere else in the house. But this bathroom has those BBs on it, what no other wall has. Yeah. All right, so now you see this is hardened up pretty good. That's what we just put on earlier. Look at that. You can imagine if you were in the spackling that you'd be able to put some spackle or joint compound in there. But this isn't level. This is not level. This is just me showing you how to get level. Well, I wanted to show you that product. In reality, you get structure light first. So right here, what I just went over earlier, now it's getting the real deal. This is the real leveler. So let's grab this little lady here then. That's good enough. Let's just run over the face of it and see what we got. Look at that, beautiful. There is, it ran against the wall and ran against the wall down there. But now that's a flatter surface. This is not ready yet. It's still, see that? It's still wet on its own. So it still has to get a little harder than this, a little more stiff. I need to really put some magic on it. See the line coming in still? So line there and some shadow marks. So let that harden up a bit. Sweet. Oh yeah, we're going to try it on there, but this is terrible. This is not smooth. I'd have to sand this to make this work in the concrete. Let's see what we got here. So we come here and let's drag. And continuous reveal all the way down. Let's go over here and let's drag. And continuous all the way down. And for the hell of it, let's go down here and taper it over. And holiday there. So how to spackle, how to use plaster with spackle tools. How's that? How to use plaster with your spackle tools. Hopefully that was a nice lesson for you. Of course I can do this over and over again to maybe fine tune it. I think this is, I don't know if I ever did a lesson, put it online before. Hocus pocus guys, hocus pocus, I'm done. That's going to get structure light down there, but that's not finished plaster zone, that's structure light zone. Structure light, all over there to your left. It needs to be taped, structure light and tape. This will get probably just joint compound. I mean the finished plaster, one of them. This gets structure light, so all this is structure light back here. Still gets structure light. Just wanted to do the video for you, show you how that works. If you weren't here with me, I would just gone from the floor up, but I'm showing you a patch, leveling so you can see it, etc. I didn't want to do floor up because you guys are like, oh, that's floor, I don't know how, you know, what about a patch? Yeah, you guys wouldn't be able to figure out a patch maybe. So this gave us a patch, if you will, to work on. It talked about the wall being out, and it still is not flat. This side needs to come forward all the way down to the floor, out to here. So this is going to get built out probably out to here, but I've got to taper it back to meet this wall. So I'll probably put a 6-foot level on this and drop it down and see where you know, how I can play it off. And I have didn't want to show it to you because what's the point? A long plaster screed. It's about 4 foot long and a 5 foot long one. It's made of magnesium. You put the plaster, this product all over this wall, and then you just go one swipe up, one swipe here up, let it set, as you saw we did here. Let it set, and then you just finish it after it sets a bit. Much faster than this. This is a this would be mixing structure light up in a can and being done. This is about, if I beat myself up, 40 minutes and I'm done. So I thought I'd just show it to you. See how you can just grip your fingers on it like right here, and you would just drag up the wall. This gives you your level plane. So as you can see, if I do that, and it's magnesium, it will flatten this wall for me. Coming this side, doing the same thing. It flattens the wall for me. It shows me my high and low spots too, if you know what you're looking at here. So I would indicate that this is the high spot, and this still needs mud. I ultimately want the mud to be running the entire edge. This was hard over there. It was hardening up. If we go this way and I'll show you, you can see the gap right there. Not much. Let's see, right there. Just that much. Oh, it wasn't against the wall. Well, it wasn't against the wall. It was against that wall. Yeah. Well, it's actually tighter than that then. There's my fingernail. So that's pretty acceptable. Remember I said out here? Let me see if I can do that. It's got to come out here this much to bring this wall level. This side, it's got to come out. Come out, wherever you are. This is it's a huge amount, you can see. And that's Structuralite's job, to come level there. And the wall may look like it's regular. Remember, this was plastered and furring strips. They did leveling on it. But I removed that because of the, and so it had a lot of plaster there to make up that level, that plane. Same thing here, just use same board, just tell me what I'm doing. And you can see it's pretty level there, got a little fingernail holiday there. Out here I could still bring this in, but this would just be the product I would throw in there. And I'd like to do a video on that for you. This is Structuralite zone. So that needs Structuralite out to here. The wall over here is pretty damn right. And so I wouldn't do, yeah, that's nothing. I wouldn't, and I'm only going to go up so high to do whatever I'm going to do. Maybe right up to here. That's going to be just skim coat. And no one can tell the difference from that height. This one, so we come here and we see just, wow, it's like a fingernail right here. So this was just eyeball stuff here. And that's within a fingernail. Over here is fingernail. Let's see how we're doing here. Not good here by the radiator. I couldn't get behind it. So the radiator, all this is junk from here back. I need to bring it in. I suppose the radiator's got me. And as I come this direction, we now see that I've got to go, oops, let me come in a little bit more. Still got to bring it out. So it's flat this way, but not